happens when a Midwest burrito chain cracks the code of blending marketing, technology, and 16 different sauces? On today's show, we dive into the story of Hothead Burritos and one of its founders, Peter Wiley, the marketing IT mastermind behind their explosive growth. He and I have a really unique conversation that I don't see in many people, where he is not only a founder, but understands the role of technology as well as marketing and how it's going to help grow their brand. He shares some really expert insights on how he took away tablets and changed the ordering experience for their guests to continue to see their growth that Nation's Restaurant News and many other publications continue to talk about. If you don't know me, my name is Julian. I'm the Chief Revenue Officer of CBS Northstar. We sell the Northstar point of sale solution for multi-units. Please check us out at cbsnorthstar.com. And now, onto the episode. Welcome back to the Restaurant Technology Guys podcast. I thank everyone out there for joining us. Today, I am joined by a brand that selfishly I was able to experience, and I know Peter will talk a little bit about who they are, where it came from, and whatnot. But really, really good product, fun brand, growing, really making a huge difference in kind of their markets. But Peter, why don't you introduce yourself real quick? A man of many trades, lots of different things that you get to do for the brand, and then we'll talk a little bit about who you get to work with.
Sure. Well, my name is Peter Wiley. I'm with a brand called Hothead Burritos, right out of the Midwest. My brother started it in 2007, so we've been around for quite a few years. I've been doing marketing from the very beginning, logo design, radio commercials, you name it. I've done it in one shape or form. And as we've grown, taken on more of an IT role, it was a big bridge between marketing and IT now. It's hard to do one without the other. So I kind of oversee the point of sale, credit card processing, gift cards, just really all those parts that have to play together to make a campaign work. So that's my main role right now. So
yeah, I'm saying, did you jump into IT willingly, or are you one of those people that reluctantly said, hey, if this crap doesn't work, I'm not going to be able to get my marketing stuff off the ground? Or were you kind of a nerd that you enjoyed that side?
I'm kind of a nerd. Yeah. I mean, I've always been anything from graphic design, audio engineering, been an audio engineer for 30 years, still mixed for a country band for fun. So I like how all the little things work together. And I think it's fun to fit that puzzle piece.
That's awesome. So for those that have not gotten to experience, and again, I'm selfish enough that I have been able to experience it. What is Hothead Burritos? Tell us a little bit about the brand. Sure. Where did it come from? You say it's been around close to 20 years, I think, 07. Yeah. 18 years. Yeah. 18 years. Yeah. But what is the brand? Is it, talk us through what is the brand? What makes it special?
Sure. Yeah. It's a fast casual Mexican place. So, or burritos, Hothead Burritos, as you kind of figured. We actually sell probably 60 to 70% bowls. We also offer quesadillas, tacos, and nachos, but burritos and bowls are certainly the core thing. And really what separates us from any of the number of other competitors out there is we offer a wide variety of flavors, and specifically we offer 16 different sauces. Lots of places to go, and you can get sour cream, you can get hot salsa or mild salsa. That's cool. We got all that, but really it comes down to sauces, right? We have our signature Hothead sauce, which is a zesty garlic sauce. It's super popular. We have a sweet habanero sauce that's all sweet and no heat, as we like to say, literally not hot at all. And some people like to mix the two. So as we've grown, evolved, we've tried different sauces. We've recently rolled out like an avocado lime and a jalapeno ranch. And so that just really lets you get what you want, the way you want it, and have some fun with it. And that's the big difference. We also do toast our burritos and bowls. Familiar with the speed ovens. Our next campaign coming up in the fall or the winter is everything's better toasted, right? So it gives us some fun play on words and differentiating factor for it.
I love that. And so talk me through what is your guys' penetration? You said you're upper Midwest. I think you said you're based in Ohio. How many stores are there? Kind of how big of a swath have you guys had at this point?
Sure. Yeah, we're at 87 locations currently. A majority are in the Midwest. We're based out of Dayton, Ohio. And we go up into Cleveland, Youngstown, Toledo, a little bit of everything in between, Columbus, heavily in Cincinnati. I would say probably between Dayton and Cincinnati, there's probably 40-ish within a short drive. And then we have a couple in New England, operated by a franchisee out there. Got one out in Texas, and then we got 5 in the panhandle of Florida. So that's kind of fun. Had a franchisee that was down there. And migrating, working our way into Indiana. I think we're up to 7 locations in Indiana. Currently got 1 in Kentucky, working on a couple more. We do have New Jersey's probably next on the they're looking for a location right now. The goal is to grow and keep growing. So.
That's awesome. So, Peter, talk me through a little bit of kind of the experience, because again, I got to go to, I think everybody has been to some of the stalwarts that have been in the space, the Qdobas, the Chipotles of the world, and they go in, and to your point, the menu selection is pretty slimmed down. You kind of know what you're going to get. And then you go in, and again, I went to a competitor on the East Coast that is based in New Jersey, or started in New Jersey. You probably know exactly who I'm talking about, just recently. And I brought a new guest there who had never been.
Yeah.
And there's so much more. There's sauces, there's different ways you can experience the brand. And so I'd love for you, as we talk about in person, and then we'll get to kind of the technology and how you guys do this, but how do you guys introduce these type of experiences to your first time guests? Because it is a elevated experience from some of those stalwarts that have been in the space.
Yeah, and that's a great question, and one we continue to work on every single day. Several years ago, to try to address that the best of our ability, is we came out with craft recipes. So a lot of places you walk in, again, name Chipotle, right? Huge sales, super simple menu. You get 3 or 4 things to pick. Over the last couple of years, they've rolled out a few more things. They actually rolled out a sauce recently, if you didn't notice.
Oh, they didn't. I'm not a huge, my teenage kids are big Chipotle people.
Yeah.
I see the bags in the trash, but I don't go there that often myself. But,
fair enough. They're a great brand. They do very well. So nothing bad to say about them. But again, super simple menu. I'll take that, right? Versus you walk into us, you're like, wow, that's a lot of, I got a burrito or bowl, but now you have all these other toppings I got to choose and 16 sauces to choose from. And which one do I get? So what we did is simply built craft recipes, what we call craft recipes. So we said, here's some of our most popular combinations, different flavor profiles. Some are sweet, some are hot, some are super hot. Right now we have this fall 2025, we got a ghost pepper and a Reaper burrito, right? It's got Carolina Reaper cheese, ghost pepper sauce, spicy steak, spicy chicken. So we try to go back and forth in both ways. So when you walk in, you can be overwhelmed. In my mind, I kind of liken it to a smoothie place. It's like you walk in, you pick, man, I'm going to take, that smoothie because it sounds good. So that is our approach to try to really simplify the experience and also give you something that you really like. Because if you go to some of the other brands and come into Hothead and get the identical thing, it's not going to have the same flavor profile. So you might be disappointed. So we're like, no, we really want you to try one of the sauces, pick one of them, put it on there. We'll give it to you on the side. And push people into those different flavor profiles that they've never tried before.
Yeah. And I think as consumers, and as you look at the studies, especially the younger we get, the younger demographic is spending money. They oftentimes want those abilities. I was just with a brand with people that are now running KFC's new saucy brand.
Exactly.
And it's all about, those 11 new spices. We were talking before we hit recorded. I was with, some of the new operators over there, and they're like, yeah, it's all about those 11 sauces and people being able to do that. And so I love that. How do you guys balance that with efficiency to ensure that you guys don't have a queue that goes out the door and you guys start attriting people because they can't come in and get the experience that they might want because they've only got 30 minutes for lunch or whatever else?
Yep. So craft recipes help address that because you come in and say, like, I'll walk in, take the jalapeno ranch. I don't say anything else. So they know the recipe, they go down, build it, done, super fast. If from a training standpoint, if you're kind of new, you haven't been there before, not necessarily want to try the craft, or if you do want to try the craft, we have line speeds, we call it, right? Ask 3 questions, right? Would you like white rice or black, or we got Mexican rice now too. So we got white rice, brown rice, or Mexican rice. Great. Would you like black beans or pinto? Would you like chicken? So you're not asking them 50 million questions on everything. You're leading them through the most popular items to help them have a great experience, simplify it for the crew, simplify it for the customer. So when they get done, they're like, that was pretty easy. Now I like it and I can get it again.
Well, and again, we talk about the importance of having the choice and having this brand that's not irreverent, but it's fun and kind of spunky.
Yeah,
even your guys' little logo is kind of that way.
Yep.
So now, how does that translate, Peter, to kind of the digital aspect? I know part of what we wanted to talk about on today's episode is kind of how do you guys get digital? And again, in your guys' concept outside of catering, but even just for whether it's third party or it's first party, getting to digital in fast casual is imperative in 2025 and beyond. So
100%.
Talk me through kind of why that's such a critical piece to be able to have that same experience digitally for these people that want to engage with the brand.
Yeah, it's critical nowadays. I've been in some conferences recently and you kind of do a survey like how many people, had online ordering 5 years ago, and there few go up. How many people had online ordering 2 years ago? goes up and up, right?
Mm.
We had basic online ordering before COVID, and we had thankfully migrated to our new point of sale, which is Q, and we use their online ordering, and it just made it super easy to manage, super easy for customers to get on and place the order. So you got to have it. We're 90% carry out, and we're 30% off-prem, if I remember correctly. So that's a combination of third-party delivery and online ordering, and we're just seeing that continue to go up month after month, year after year. And so we have to embrace it and get good at it operationally and technologically.
Yeah. And so talk me through, because again, you guys have got lots of choices. So now we put those, it's easy when I'm standing in front of a staff member and you go through this experience.
Yeah.
Yes, you can have the brown rice, the Mexican rice, or the white rice, but being able to manage even what burrito got into what bag and ensuring that all of that happens, because you don't have an easy way to guest recover if it's off-prem. So I'd love for you to talk through some of the things that you guys think about, because you guys have got probably, I mean, if you were to extrapolate it out, tens of thousands of choices between proteins and sauces and starches and beans that just turn into something that's challenging to execute on every time and get the guests what they're looking for so that they do come back. And we all know that repeat guests are a huge part of our business, and we have to have it.
Yeah, that is definitely a challenge. And again, it's something I think all of us wrestle with in the restaurant industry at whatever level you're at. We worked really hard we use a kitchen chit system, so we don't have a KDS. Again, most of our stuff is made on a make line, so we don't have a separate make line in most of our tables or most of our restaurants. So the kitchen chit just seemed to be the best solution, because you can essentially attach it to the burrito or bowl you're working on, and it tells you exactly what to do. It just read it, what's on it, chicken, white rice, etc. Makes it super easy to go down the line, put it in the bag. We have the ability to print out a whole summary kitchen chit. So you can say, well, this order, has 4 items. It's got two burritos, a bowl, and a bag of chips. Cool. I got my master ticket that has all of that on that. I got my individual tickets for each of the items. I can double check that I got them all, put them all in the same bag, put the customer receipt on the bag that has everything listed on it. And you should be good to go. I wish I could say we were perfect. We are not. Occasionally they grab the wrong thing, wrong order, but that is a primary focus to get better and better at that.
Yeah. And I think in general, I thinking about that first is definitely something that I think brands don't evaluate so that they can get that training, because again, oftentimes when that guest has gotten the bad experience, they don't come back. And so ensuring that you guys can get the right things in the bag is a big piece of when I spend time with operators. They're all working on it. They're all working on, there's got to be some magic bullet, and eventually we'll get there where there's some computer that's going to be sitting and looking at the make line and saying, Peter, did you ensure that you put the right thing in here? But we're not there today. So talk me through, because again, I dine out. I go to places that don't have point of sale integrated with third party, integrated with online ordering. They've got what I call tablet hell, where they got a half a dozen tablets sitting there on the line, and somebody's sitting there making all of these different processes. They run out of something. Now they got to go to each of the tablets and go turn off, the protein that they ran out of or the sauce that they ran out of. Talk me through why you guys felt it was so critical to have these pieces integrated, and what does it do ultimately for your guests and really the operators at the end of the day?
I can totally relate to that, because that's where we were before. You got a Grubhub tablet sitting there, you ding in, you got a DoorDash tablet, you got an Uber Eats, Friendly, and all of our markets, we have all 3. I realize other markets may have even more, but I was like, good gosh, this is, a nightmare, right? I'm sitting in an office. Let's be honest, I'm not sitting there rolling burritos every day. And so part of the key was getting, seeing that, right? And seeing what a nightmare it was to deal with. We tried a couple other solutions in between that tried some menu mapping to get them to try to come into the point of sale. They kind of did it, but ultimately lots of times you're still relying on that tablet. And I can't help but plug Q on this one, because they really simplified that. One of the key things we looked in the point of sale, again, coming from that problem, was as we started shopping around, what kind of integrations do you have? Is a third party required? Do you have direct integrations? And that was honestly a really big hook for me, because it was becoming such a big part of our business. And I think more importantly, it was becoming such a pain point. You can't do it right if you can't make the order right, let alone get it in the bag. And so by having the direct integration, my crew is not oblivious. I mean, they have it says on the kitchen chip, but whether it's an online order, a DoorDash order, a Grubhub order, or Uber Eats order, it just comes through the point of sale, prints out the kitchen chip. They don't have to think about it. They don't have to look at a tablet. It just says, Grubhub or DoorDash. We also do delivery through DoorDash Drive.
Yeah, that's where I was going to go next, was just help our listeners that are less familiar with DoorDash Drive. Yeah. I think everybody's familiar with DoorDash having an order get inserted into the restaurant, and they're the arbiter of the record. But DoorDash Drive is kind of a little bit in between. I'd love for you to educate some of our listeners that might not be familiar with that.
Yeah, we've been using it for a number of years. So you have DoorDash marketplaces, they'll generally call it if you talk to them. And then you have DoorDash Drive. And they actually have another one called DoorDash Storefront. So they're kind of playing in the POS field a little bit if you want to on the online. Mm-hmm. But DoorDash Drive specifically, what it does is it allows us to take orders through our website or through our platform, native if you want to call it, just like they're placed in a pickup order. And they simply can pick delivery. And on the back end, when they choose delivery, it runs all the address check and all of that. It sends a call out to DoorDash Drive, or DoorDash, essentially, drivers, and says, hey, we got an order to be picked up. Without the integration, you could still do this manually, but you have to do it through the website and select a driver. So with the integration, it's transparent for my crew. I won't say it's completely transparent to the customer, because the customer gets it. Guess what? There's a DoorDash person there delivering their food, and they're like, but I think they've come around to that's just how it is. It's really, really hard to compete, at least at our volume of delivery, to self-deliver. DoorDash Drive makes it very effective, very affordable. It's a flat rate instead of a commission, right? So if I'm on, somebody comes through DoorDash Marketplace, you pay 10 or probably 20 to 30% on a commission.
Yep.
Versus DoorDash Drive, you have just a flat fee. So the bigger the order, the more money I make as a restaurant, the more profitable I am, versus on Marketplace, you just keep getting chunked at the percentage. So
yeah, no, and it's amazing how few people, I think, exercise that. And I know Uber's got a competitive product as well coming out. The Uber Eats group is doing something similar and are looking to do exactly the same thing. We've had them on the show before. You talked about large orders. I know that one of the growth areas for your business is trying to figure out how to get those larger orders. I'd love for you to talk through what does that look like. And again, I just got back tech. The time we're recording this, there's a lot of talk about catering. A lot of people are returning back to office, and catering orders come back, and no different than you guys were able to expand your offerings, having online ordering and third party during COVID. Now with people coming back in, how are you guys thinking about catering, and what does catering have the ability to impact the business, I guess, in general for you guys?
Yeah, catering is huge for us, and we want it to be bigger. So for the last probably 2 years, it's been a primary focus. I wish we could say we excelled at it. We have not over the years. We just thought it was challenging. It's not an easy thing to do. You got customers that want to negotiate with you, and businesses that want it on short notice. So it was like, man, how do we manage this and make it really easy for the team, right? So yeah, the customer might get it, but the team's got to be able to execute it without stressing out about it and make it super easy. So what we did is we moved it all to online ordering. So again, we were able to create a separate online ordering menu for catering, which was great. Makes it super easy to order. You can add modifiers, you can add add-ons, you can pick your number of people, etc. And we built it into packages. So we have an easy, a deluxe, and a VIP. So it kind of fixes your price point. Do you want the basic, or do you want something that's got a few more options, or you just kind of want all of the options out there and load it up? And by doing that, what we did is we took it out of the phone call. We took it out of our crew having to understand and do math and have a spreadsheet. It just, all that went away. Just, hey, if you want to place a catering order, hit us up online. Cool. Guess what? You can sign up for a rewards account. You get points on catering, which is awesome. So it just comes through as an order, and the crew kicks it out. We have some parameters on, how much lead time you need, and et cetera, to certainly accommodate the larger orders. But that was our solution, was push it online, make it really easy to order, and gives the customer some benefit to order again. If you're a rewards member, it's a huge help for you as a customer. And our crew they don't think about it anymore. Once you understand how to do it, like, man, I'm just cooking a bunch of chicken and throw it in a pan, right? I don't got to roll burritos. I got to do nothing. It's actually super easy. So your labor goes way down and your profitability goes up.
Well, and that was really where I was going to go with it, Peter, is did you guys for online, and a lot of people I think need to evaluate this for just pure online orders, whether it's through DoorDash Drive or even for pickup or any of those other areas, as well as catering. It sounds like you guys have evaluated your menu offerings that they may or may not be the exact same as what I can get when I walk into the store. Talk me through kind of how you guys evaluate that, because catering, some places will cater fully made kind of pre-made burritos or bowls or whatever else. Other places, to your point, it's a Lexan with with chicken and beef and whatever it is that you guys
Right.
are serving. So I'd love for you to talk through how you guys as a brand even evaluated that as you guys are trying to grow it to ensure that both the guests are satisfied and it doesn't kill the store and the in-store experience.
Yeah, for our online menu for we'll call it regular items, right? Non-catering items. It's identical to what you can get in the store. We just left it all the same. The only caveat to that is fountain drinks. We had a lot of challenges with fountain drinks getting forgotten, not picked up. And because we offer delivery too, it became a pain point for the driver. So I think that's the only variance we have between if you come into a restaurant and you order online. And on the catering side, again, we tried to put together packages that may be easy. You can do a la carte and you can modify the packages a fair amount, but we wanted to keep it really simple, really streamlined, and easy to order, easy to make every time. Right?
Yep. So you said something during your description of catering that I think is somewhat unique to what you guys do. Okay. And I'd love for you to talk a little bit about this, which is you guys have got a loyalty program. And I know that across the board, the definitions of loyalty and what does loyalty even mean, everybody wants to debate about it. But knowing who your guests are and understanding when they're coming in and giving them benefit for coming back, oftentimes catering comes from your non-traditional customer, but you want them to come in for their individual items. And I've talked with brands in the past where it's like, I've got the executive assistant that's ordering from Hotheads, once a month or twice a month. They get all of those points and then can go take their family out. And so I'd love to have you talk about why did you guys make that decision? Because some brands are like, you know what, you don't get loyalty points because, and then there's others like you guys that are doing that. I'd love for you to talk through how does loyalty play such a huge part in your business, number one, and number two, why did you guys choose to have catering participate in the loyalty reward?
Yep. If I can go with two first, it was definitely debated. It was,
I'm sure
you're getting a lot of points. Average catering orders, $200 to $300. Sometimes you get $1,300 catering order. Do we really want to do this? And ultimately it came down to our goal is to grow catering and make catering a significant part of our business. Mm-hmm. We want to aim for 20% at least, and we got a long ways to go to get there. So every incentive possible is worth it, right? Your profit margin increases, your labor goes down. So why in the world do I not want to incentivize people in every single way possible to order catering from us? You hear the story of the drug reps who just, they're ordering all the time. And, we haven't really mentioned Easy Cater. Easy Cater is a real factor. So we got to compete with them, right? People are used to ordering from there. So we want to give you an incentive. Don't order from Easy Cater, order from us. You're going to get points. You get free food from it. And we recently turned on delivery for catering, again, using DoorDash Drive. So that's been probably about 2 months. Again, competing with Easy Cater, competing with people. I don't want to go pick it up, right? Like you said, an assistant's ordering for the office. Last thing we want to do is get up and burn an hour going to get food somewhere. So now we can have it delivered, show up at your door. We're actually far less expensive than Easy Cater to have it delivered. And I'll be running a promo here with free delivery because, again, using DoorDash Drive, I'm not on a commission basis. I'm on a flat fee. And the flat fee is a heck of a lot less than Easy Cater's commission. So we're going to be pushing that. And that was everything we can do to push catering is why we decided to go ahead and leave points on the board for catering.
Love that. Flipping back to question one, I guess, talk to me a little bit philosophically. What is your view on loyalty? And again, there's the point system, there's the punch system, there's the, but again, I think philosophically, I've heard lots of different brands over the years go different routes. And I know it's something you guys have had in the brand for quite some time. And so I'd love to have you help our listeners to get educated on what have you found to be effective for you guys?
It goes way back. My brother who started it was a Subway guy for 26 years. So you guys remember the Subway stamp cards. I was a Subway manager back when I was 20. I'm not 20 anymore. So that came essentially with the brand, right? He's like, from the get-go, we're going to have rewards. It worked well at Subway. Did really well for him. So here we go. So we had sticker cards forever, and people loved them. They would collect them. They'd have a stack of them. They'd have stickers, and we're like, okay, we're getting bigger and bigger now,
Yeah, you're like, we're not in 1987 anymore.
Yeah. Hey, where'd that roll of stickers go? I don't know. Oh, geez. Anyway, so then quickly it was like, we need to look at a digital system. And we looked really hard and contemplated it really hard because it's one of those things people really liked about having a sticker card. It's tangible. It's in your hand. It's like a touchy-feely, warm, fuzzy thing. And so we did move to a digital platform, and it was a little challenging because they wanted the sticker card. You had to do a conversion, bring in a card, use it by this date, etc. As we did that, the benefit with being digital, right? I get some analytics, right? I get some data, I get names, I get emails, I get phone numbers, I get the ability to reach back out to those people and entice them to come back in, or at least make them think about us. And so that's really where we look at the loyalty play. We work with Punch. It's been a great, lots of ways to target people, look after them, send general rewards. So we play a little bit of both games. We play segmented, where we're going to go after you because we know you like a burrito, you like queso on your burrito. So guess what? You're going to get a queso offer. But then we also will come back, with an LTO like our Ghost and Reaper currently, and say everybody's going to get that because that's we're telling everybody about. It's a great opportunity. So we walk the line between trying to be very targeted and also being very broad and have some fun with the messaging. So it's become an integral part of our marketing. We got stuff going out every week. Every campaign is built around having some element of it. It just, I think there is a groundswell of a debate whether you need loyalty anymore. Is it the right thing anymore? I'm still in the camp of it brings us a lot of repeat business. It lets us reach our customers very easily. So I'm in the camp of, we want to have a loyalty platform. And where you want to look, I think where you start to get sketchy on it is your discount rate. So if you see that you're just obliterating your discount rate, then maybe you want to, a little timeout and how do we do this? So we walk that line pretty good. We don't run a super high discount rate impacting our stores, even though we do run some really good offers. Like this week, we're running a order online and buy, spend $10 or more and get 50% off your next order, right?
Well, I feel like you're reading my playbook here because I was going to ask, because one of the big things that I know a lot of people talk about, Peter, this is going to be kind of the last line of questioning, is converting people from in-store to online, from online to catering, from catering back to in-store, and kind of being able to get more usage out of them. Obviously you've got the idea behind loyalty is that you're going to help people remember you when they've lapsed, know where they're at, create some reason for them to come in. But I also find a lot of times regulars don't know you have a catering program. And so they don't think of you guys that way, or they don't think of you as a DoorDash drive opportunity or any of those kind of things. So converting them. So I love your thought that says, oh, you come in here, now your next order online is this, or you ordered online, now your next in-store purchase is that. And so I'd love to get your thoughts, Peter, on kind of, you're a marketing guy who lives in IT as well. So the convergence of those two is huge. And I think way too few brands think about converting between the different ordering channels to drive top line sales and ultimately more frequency within the store. So I'd love to have you expound upon that if you could.
Yeah, that is a $1 million question.
It's hard
driving those top revenue sales, where we have seen I'd say our most success is seeing people, once they come into the app, we can statistically see that they're more likely to order online and have higher online ordering sales. So a lot of our campaigns are driven around join a rewards club. You join the rewards club, you get an offer. I realize that, and we have lots of debates on, now I'm excluding, we're about a 20% rewards participation rate. So that means I get 80% of my customers I'm not making the offer to. But what we've seen when we do that, even just like last week, around a couple different offers around queso and guac. And while the offer was redeemed pretty well with the rewards members, what we got to look at is what did it do to my sales, not just my rewards members. So if all I looked at was my rewards member results, I'd be like, it was okay. Well, it didn't blow me out of the water, and I'm doing cartwheels. But then when I stepped back and said, but what did it do to my queso, for example? What did it do to my overall queso sales for that day? It was just a one-day National Queso Day thing. We look back and our queso sales are up anywhere between 10 and 20% in different locations. Forget the rewards members, just how many queso items were ordered. 10 to 20% increase that's a huge success, right?
Yeah.
At least in my book. Maybe other people are getting 90 and 100, but we're not.
Not even close.
Yeah. So So as we start to, and we're getting better at it. This is something I think is a learning curve. I think it is lots of A, B and testing. So we're trying to do more tests, and some of them we'll throw marketing dollars behind it. On some of them we won't. We're in TV, radio, and lots of different platforms. Sometimes we've leveraged those platforms to promote those, and sometimes we haven't, to try to see, does it make a difference? Where do we see the results? So I think hopefully that helps out. Just be willing to experiment and be willing to try some different things, and don't just focus on the loyalty results, but focus on what did it do to your store sales or even those item sales you're promoting. So.
Yep. No, and I think that's huge, that using data, and we've made it 30 minutes through. I'm sure there's something you guys are doing AI related. Maybe I should ask you, what are you doing AI related? Just because everybody's always intrigued. And I'm sure you've gotten asked the question in the last half a dozen panels you've been on.
Oh yeah, everybody, AI. Uh-huh. The extent of our AI is currently, most of the time it's with ChatGPT. We also use Gemini some. But we've leveraged it for a lot of brainstorming. What can we do? What are the questions? What are, even some scripting ideas? Because you're doing this for a while. That same brand, you get a little stuck. Like, I've said the same thing in the last 10 commercials. How can I say that differently? So that's been super helpful. It's also kind of cool to look at some data. It's not perfect, and you hear about, it's ghosting or miscalculated, and you're doing something like that. Sure. But
most times directionally, it really is helpful to get to the next level if you do it properly.
Exactly. And we're looking at bringing on a new data platform, a customer data platform that has an AI built in. So it will help us evaluate even more in AI. If I could throw out a request of Punch, would be, incorporate an AI platform right into Punch, because there's so much data in whatever your loyalty platform is. There's so much data in there. And, with the traditional SQL query or trying to go through a dashboard, it can be challenging. But
being able to use natural language processing that says, give me my top 10 guests for this, and I'm going to send them an extra $10 off this week and to give to somebody else or whatever, that'd be huge.
And it opens up to your entire team to ask those questions versus me being a data nerd or my IT guy who, go in, figure out all the options. It's like, no, I can just, like you just said, anyone on my team doesn't have to know anything, can ask those questions and get some answers. And I think that's super cool. Where, for us, I think it's going to make the data that much more accessible, so we can make better decisions in our scenario.
I love that. So I'm gonna pivot one last set of questions, Peter. If people haven't been to Hothead Burritos, what is the number one seller? And then how does Peter, because you've been working with this brand for a while, I'm certain you have some crazy modifications that you do to your orders, or at least everybody that I talk to in restaurants. So what is kind of the one or two go-to for people that have never experienced the brand? They walk in and it's like, these are the one or two items that made you guys famous. And then what is Peter's go-to order?
Yeah, probably the most popular is our sweet habanero burrito. Everybody thinks it's going to be hot, and it's not. And our chicken is a proprietary signature marinated chicken, so that's a substantial portion of our sales. So people really love getting that. So you get sweet habanero, comes with rice, beans, red onion, cheddar cheese, and sweet habanero sauce. You can always add anything else. You can add other choices to it, but that's really a go-to and something we recommend. If you don't mind just a little bit of zip and prefer something a little more savory instead of sweet, the Hothead sauce, we have a Leroy's spicy chicken. Leroy's our mascot, we call him. You probably see him behind me on the wall. That adds some more heat. Again, it's a proprietary spicy sauce. We have a lot of things that we've developed that are unique to us. So you're not just walking in and getting ranch. You're walking in and getting Southwest or Hothead sauce or avocado lime. So sweet habanero would be the go-to. And we have a lot of people that mix them.
Okay.
I've been here a long time, and I never thought about putting sweet habanero and Hothead together, but it's amazing that they do. Or they'll take teriyaki and mix it with something else. You're like, okay, hey man, you like it. My go-to lately has really been probably our jalapeno ranch bowl.
Okay.
Which is one of our craft recipes, but I really like the jalapeno ranch. It's got a little bit of kick. It's not too much. I try to, in theory, do a little bit of a low carb diet. So sometimes I'll swap it out and go with lettuce instead of the rice. But yeah, that's kind of my go-to. So
awesome. And protein on is it the chicken? Is that what you go with?
I go back and forth. I kind of alternate. So I do chicken a fair amount, but I do the steak a fair amount too. We got a nice seasoning and dry rub on it that I like. So.
Awesome. So Peter, how do people learn more? How do people stay engaged with the brand? Obviously if they're in the area, go check it out. If they're not,
Sure.
Go check out the website. But what's the website and how do they stay engaged to learn more about what you guys are doing?
Yeah, hotheadburritos.com. Super simple. If you want to check out our catering, just catering. It's all up there. We try to have a good time. We're always revamping, doing some stuff. If you want to have, engage with the brand a little bit more, I'm going to plug we have some games out there, Hothead Burritos /games. That has been a lot of fun addition to us, a little bit on the tech nerdy side, but a little bit on the playful side too. So
I love that. Well, Peter, thank you for sharing kind of your guys' journey. Thank you for continuing to create a unique experience because, again, as a consumer, it's a fun brand to go check out, and you guys have a lot of different options to serve a lot of different palates. So to our listeners, guys, you guys have got a lot of choices. So thanks you guys for hanging out. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so on your favorite listening platform and make it a great day.
Thank you.